Welcome back to the Swampfox Optics YouTube channel, and today we are throwing it way back to one of the OG optics that we came out with back when the company was first founded, and that is the KINGSLAYER red dot. So this is one of the very first things we released. It is the first RMR footprint optic that we released, and yeah, it's not something we talk about very often because one, we discontinued it technically a while ago, and two, we just had some new innovations and new optics that we are super excited about, and so kind of unintentionally products get overshadowed. We recently introduced our open box program, so if you guys have seen that, it's pretty cool. If not, you should go check out the link below and we'll have some info on it. We're going to kind of go over what the KINGSLAYER is. You can kind of maybe decide for yourself if the KINGSLAYER is kind of worth purchasing in 2025 since we've got some new stuff since then, but we have a couple different options, so we're going to run it on a couple different guns. One of the things that we've seen KINGSLAYER be really well known for is just it's a very versatile optic. We've seen a bunch of people running on shotguns, pistol dots, offsets, all sorts of stuff. So we're going to put it on a couple different guns, get a feel for just how it does in some different situations. Out at the range today, it's super windy, so I apologize in advance. But yeah, you just get to look at my ugly face and listen to some windy audio. Such is life sometimes, you'll be okay. So we're out here at the range, and we're going to go over the first of kind of the multi-use options that you have for the KINGSLAYER. So the first one, and you know, much to our surprise originally when we released this, kind of the most popular application that we've seen is with a shotgun actually. People turkey hunting and throwing them on shotguns because they came out with the single red dot and then a circle dot as well. They weren't multi-reticle, but you did have options. So we actually have found that to be one of the most common applications we find this in. So the first gun that we'll be showing today of kind of one of the ways you could use the KINGSLAYER is a shotgun. So this is a Beretta 1301, chisel machining stock, Midwest Industries handguard, and I don't have the extension because I am lame, but this is kind of my home-ish defense setup, and then got a Surefire light on there as well. This is mounted via the chisel machining stock. A lot of times we see guys running the KINGSLAYER on the Picatinny mount that it comes with, so you don't have to run it this way. This is a direct RMR, but if you have a shotgun that's got a rail on the top, you can also use this optic by just mounting it via the Picatinny slot. So this is one of the most common ways that we've found people run this. And obviously I'm not gonna pull clays for myself. I guess I could. Let's do that. Let's do that. So we're gonna go over here. I apologize, it's windy. So we're gonna do our best to mitigate that, but okay, got two in the pipe, two things here. See if I can yeet it up for myself and hit them both. So we'll see. All right, and I'm not shooting at those. Super windy, it just came straight back into our face. Throw them out, not up. That's the key. I think I got them both, maybe. But anyway, this thing's super fun. You know, I wish we could just do skeet shooting all the time because it's super entertaining. This is one of the, you know, pretty cool options that you can have for using the KINGSLAYER. So I like this a lot. I have the single dot option right now because we'll be putting this on a pistol, but you could, in theory, use a single dot. That's what most people do. So this is the first thing. We'll do one more of those. All right, we're gonna do this a couple more times just for poops and giggles, see how well I can do. But oh, I should throw this the right way. Oh boy. Might help if I was actually trying to like use the optic to do that. I just kind of sent it and clearly it didn't work for anything. So try this again. Actually look through the dot. And here we go. This wind sucks. Literally, I threw it and they just blew straight back at us. Trying not to be dumb and shoot something directly over my head. All right, let's try this again. Just one clay this time. Kind of like I'm skipping a rock, you know? Ugh. Oh boy. I got it. Let's do one more clay. And see, I cannot find the right way to grab this while I'm trying to throw the clay, but. And I missed. I suck. All right, on to the next gun. Gun number two. So this is a 14.5-inch AR-15 chambered in 223, pin and welded. So it's a rifle as it is. And this is gonna be the second configuration or second kind of example of a way that you could run the KINGSLAYER. So there's two ways you could theoretically do it on a gun like this. You could have it on an offset mount. and raise it up a little bit and have that be your primary sighting system, or you can run it as a backup. So if you look right here, I'm running our Warhorse 1-6, and then I have our hostile engagement mount, which has the KINGSLAYER mounted at the 45-degree position forward of my turrets. So I like it in this position better. The window on the KINGSLAYER is a little kind of wide, left to right, but not very tall. So as a primary optic on a riser, I'm not a big fan. But when you put it on the 45-degree position and use it as a 1X, let's say a minute, all the way at 6 power on my LPVO, right? And I want to be able to transition quick to a shot closer up using a 1X, this works really, really well. So I like it a lot for that, and obviously we could show the other thing, but you can visualize it, or I hope you can. But this is kind of the second big way that we've seen people run the KINGSLAYER. So this is a really cool way that we like to shoot it, and it gives you the ability to, if we're at 100 yards right now, don't have very many targets put up, but so if I'm, shooting 6X distance, and then I want to be able to take a shot a lot quicker, I can swap to my 1X from the KINGSLAYER super quick. I personally like having it forward of my turrets so that I can still see my turrets. I end up kind of losing the body of the optic. I can still see the window perfectly. So it makes it really nice if I need to transition quick. Stand by, a couple more rounds here, and just show kind of how quick and easy it is to use the versatility and swap to that 1X. So 6X, 1X, 6X, 1X, not too bad. So obviously you gotta get a good consistent position with how you like your cheek to rest on the stock, because when I'm at 6 here, I've got a full cheek weld, and then turning it over, I gotta pick my chin up just a little bit so I get down to about there. But either way, runs really, really nice, kind of both ways. So I like this, and now we will move on to our third and final example of how you can run the KINGSLAYER. The last and final gun that we're going to put the KINGSLAYER on today is the Staccato P. So this is a super fun little setup. If you're wondering why I put the KINGSLAYER on my Staccato P, life is short and I like to party. We're gonna run it on here, and an actual answer of that would be like, if I'm really trying to evaluate the KINGSLAYER for what it can do and how good of an optic it is, I want to try to reduce as many variables as possible when I'm testing something. So Staccato P is the gun that I shoot the most. It's what I shoot in competition. So this is what I'm used to shooting. I'm used to drawing it from this holster. So everything feels the same, and so the only change made to this setup would be the optic itself. We're running it on the Staccato P, and yeah, so it originally was designed for pistol dots. This is a RMR footprint optic, and so it kind of is made for and fits very well on pistols. So it can go on all sorts of stuff, Glock slides, MOS slides with the right plate, the DPO plate for the Staccato, or kind of whatever RMR cut slide you might have. So we'll shoot a couple rounds, see how it does, see how the target acquisition is, and just have a little bit of fun. So yeah, all right. A little trigger freeze there. Haven't shot a pistol in like a month. Oh, see? Missed the safety. Okay, slow down. We're good. We're having a fun time. That was a little bit better. Dang, dude. Just trigger freeze, man. Just trying to ham on it too much. That was pretty good. How many rounds do I got left? There, okay, hold on. All right. I got one round in there, so we'll do some like one reload once, because why not? Circa 2007. Oh boy. There we go. Yeah, it looked okay. Maybe, if it didn't feel horrible. All right. Nope, see? Not too bad. The window size is not what I'm used to. So, just being 100% honest, like I said, kind of when talking about the rifles, the window is left to right pretty wide, but not as tall as I'm used to. So I really have to let's get that out of there. clear gun. So when I am presenting, I'm really having to like focus on getting a good sight picture and not kind of like ripping it as soon as the dot's in the window basically. So I'm having to focus on getting the dot in the window and making sure that everything's lined up before I actually pull the trigger. I wouldn't say it's necessarily slower than what I'm used to, because I don't think it is. I think it's just I'm not as used to shooting it. And it might take a little bit to just get used to how that window is shaped. Before I can really like, didn't get it. Say for sure, but at the end of the day, a pistol dot's a pistol dot. If you're doing any type of like obscure dot training, it doesn't really matter anyway, because you're covering up the window, you're not looking through the window, you're just staying focused on the target and letting that red dot just kind of superimpose itself. So moral of the story is I need to do more pistol shooting because I suck. But either way, missed it again. Gotta remember my training. All right, guys, so that's all I have for you today. So to answer the question, is the KINGSLAYER worth buying in 2025? Ultimately, that is up to you, right? There are a ton of options. It's a wonderful time to be a consumer in the red dot market because there's just stuff everywhere. You have so many choices to pick from, and you can really find something that is suitable to exactly what you need. So in terms of the KINGSLAYER, that is up to you. We are selling it in the open box program, and it is not that expensive. So if it's something where you're just like, man, I just need like another range optic for a range toy, I think it might be a good fit. If you need an optic that can kind of fill multiple roles, I mean, you're not really worried about it kind of, you know, getting beat up a little bit as you kind of put it through its paces, might be good for that as well. Ultimately, I can't answer that question for you. I can just kind of provide you guys with some information, with some examples shooting, and hopefully give you the information you need to make your own decision. If I had to pick where I would put a KINGSLAYER on one of my current rifles or current guns, it would be that shotgun. I think it's a good fit for that. I like that circle dot option quite a bit, and it's a good fit for a continuous circle dot since it's not a multi-reticle, so it'd be really good for a shotgun. So all that said, there are tons of ways you can use the KINGSLAYER. It's a great value optic for what it is, and you have so many different ways you could implement it or use it. So if you are looking at purchasing a KINGSLAYER, you can check out our open box program on our website. And if you're looking at some of our other optics, you can also check those out on the main shop page on our website. So those are going to be at swampfoxoptics.com. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you don't mind, do the like, comment, subscribe thing. It tells YouTube that you like us, and it tells us that you like us and gives us a reason to keep doing this. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.